Okay, so I'm going to start blocking this in with curves and straights. I think about the eye as it's a curve that goes along the top going to a straight, going to another curve, and then a tiny little straight. So you can see what I've got right there. And with front eyes, I also want to think about this in a very iconic way. So what I'm doing right here on the top is I'm breaking this into two shapes. I've got that lid and the pupil that I massed into one thing, and then I've got that bottom lid. And you can see I'm going to do it right here. I subtly blocked in that top as one dark shape. And then even though I'm putting in halftone, have a look at what I'm doing. I put in that dark shape, and then the halftone is just the dressing that goes on top of it. What I did right there is I softened my shapes. So I want to put in these beautiful little highlights, and that goes really well if you soften the darks underneath, and then it sets the room to put in those highlights. That's a great way to think about it. I'm going to move on to the 3/4 eye in about a second here. Just finishing this thing up. Now with the 3/4 eye, this is an abstraction, and what I mean by that is this isn't the way that I necessarily would draw an eye. I have this pupil that or the eyeball that I blocked in there, and you see I put the little hook around and really make that lid wrap. That's not the way an eye really works, but it's an abstraction. So I think about it like this structurally, and then I look at somebody and will adjust the shape to them. But it's a good way for me to block it in. So here's another example. When I blocked in the pupil right there and the iris, I put it at a little bit of a curve, and that's so this thing sits a little bit. It's an exaggeration. If you want to see this put into great practice, look at the art of Nikolai Feshin, the famous painter, the famous Russian painter. And Feshin in his drawing, sometimes it's blatant. He'll have those eyes just sit beautifully in the head by tilting them just a little bit. It's a visual trick. And I'm just touching this up. Now 3/4 eyes are all about structure. So for me, even if I put in this tone, I want to think about structure. With the profile eye here, it's about exaggeration when I start out. So I put that nice little S curve on the top, and not everybody's going to have lashes that go out like that, but I exaggerate. I want to get that gesture in there first, and then of course I'll just pull it out. I'll pull the lashes out as I see fit. Backing up to that front eye there, this is the same thing. Once I've got that structure in there, I can block in my darks, and then when I put in my halftones, which once again, halftones are grays. They're any tones you've got your darks and your lights, and then halftones are grays that go in between that. And if you've got all your darks in there and your lights, the halftones just decorate it. So these are all out of my head, but if I were observing somebody, I would observe what kind of eye they had. I would make this a lot more subtle. Now with noses, something to think about with the front nose, I'm going to draw looking straight at us first. That's actually incredibly foreshortened. We sort of take, at least I take it for granted because we spend so much time talking to people and we just see these noses, but man is that foreshortened. So for me, when something is very foreshortened, I want to think a lot about structure. The way that I'm blocking it in here is straights. There's a lot of straights, and I can go back in later and soften those straights, but for me, block it in with straights as much as you can. Think structurally. I find that to be very helpful. Also, what I'm doing here is when I start to add highlights and tone to it, what I'm doing is I'm setting it up to pull out some shapes. So the equivalent would be if I were using Vine charcoal, it would be to wipe some charcoal across the canvas, and then I can go back in with my kneaded eraser and just kind of pull out those highlights in just the right way. So with front-facing noses, and really any nose for that matter, I find it very helpful to think in terms of straights for structure. Now, speaking of structure, this is the most structural you're going to get, which is the 3/4 nose. And that's when they're turning their head a little bit to the side. And I try to simplify this. I think it's great. You can watch a lot of videos that people have where they're putting in the bone. They've got their two little balls under the nose, and that's great information to have. For me, this is the most simplified I can do it. I think about it almost as though it's sort of two little curved sides, and then a box in the front, and then a box going underneath. And I'm aware of all that anatomy. I could do a nose anatomy video, but I find that in most people you really don't see that. So for me, I just try to reduce it down to the simplest things. So once again, for me, that's how I like to think about those curved sides, box in the front, box going underneath, little straight going up. Rendering out the highlights. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the profile nose. This is very similar to the 3/4 nose. So I block this in with structure. I've got that straight going down. I've got a little bit of a straight. They're almost like subtle C curves. I call them curved straights. It's not quite as straight, but you just curve it to give it a little bit of jazz to it. And you can see I set up my structure. The same thing as the 3/4 nose, very similar in this case, is you want to think about structure, and I would recommend look at what other people are doing. It's great to have that information, and then you're going to find the things that work for you. This is what I take out of it. Once again, when I was in school, I did all those studies where I did all the different complications of the nose, and this is just boiling it down in a way that works for me. And as I said before, you're going to find your own truth for this. You're going to find your own simplification that works. All right, moving on to the lips. When I do some front-facing lips, the formula that I like to use, and it really is a formula, are 3 little dots. Dot here, dot here, dot here, and then just soften between them. Also, maybe more than other things, with lips, it's soft, 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 and then bam, hit those highlights in the right places. You're going to see I'm going to darken this, and the highlights in this case would be just right along the top of the lip, like I'm doing right here. Be very careful with it, very tasteful with it, and then right here. And if you put in those 3 points, soften between them, and then chisel in those highlights, you'll get what you need. 3/4 lips are a little bit different. The way that I think about this was explained to me years ago in a way it's almost like weaving. You weave it up, weave it under one more time, and then weave it under one more time. Sorry, I'm getting in front of the camera with that. But it's structural. I'm talking a lot about structure, but this is exactly what it is. You want to just get that structure in there. I'm going in and I'm putting in those darks. And I've got that drawing to work from. Same thing right here. I've got that dark, soft base, and that gives me the ability to put my lights in my highlights. Now there's going to be one more I'm going to cut out here, and we'll touch base in a second. But with the profile lips, I won't talk the whole time, but I'm going to say very quickly, look at this. It's all about structure. It's straights, 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 structure, and then carefully come in and adjust it. I'll do a little drawing here with this, and we'll touch base in a second. Thanks for coming. Okay, thank you so much for being here. I hope you got something out of this. These are just my little abstractions and take on this that works for me. I'm sure that you'll take some of this and put it into your own work. I hope it helps out your drawings. I'd love to see what you're up to if you want to post it in the comments. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming. Until next time. As a way of wrapping this up, I thought I would just talk really quickly about a couple books that I think are must-haves. The first one is The Human Figure by John H. Vanderpoel, and this is a must-have. For features, what I did and what a lot of people have done is just look at these pages and copy them. All the information is there and the book is quite inexpensive. On the opposite end of things, you've got George Bridgman, which is a classic. Bridgman to what Vanderpoel is very refined, and Bridgman is just throwing it down like a sculptor. For Bridgman, this actually touches back to what I was talking about, where you can see how much information he's giving you. With Bridgman, great information, you just have to edit it.